Welcome to this explainer. So, have you ever stood near a construction site and just felt your entire body start to shiver? Like your teeth are almost rattling out of your skull as a massive road roller goes by? It's a wildly strange sensation, right? The ground is physically shaking, nearby equipment starts rattling, and you can practically feel the air vibrating all around you. Well, today, we're going to break down the hidden physics of this heavy machinery. We are deconstructing what engineers call the microvibration secret to understand exactly how these massive machines manipulate physics to build foundations that can last for decades.
Okay, let's dive right into this by asking the obvious question. Why exactly do these road rollers shake the ground so violently? I mean, it seems kind of counterintuitive, doesn't it? Why not just roll quietly over the dirt? Most of us look at that massive steel drum and just assume the machine is doing its job by using its tremendous raw weight to squish the dirt flat. But actually, scratch that. That assumption is entirely wrong.
And this right here brilliantly illustrates the core misconception. The myth is that we're simply squishing dirt with massive static weight. But the reality? It's far more complex. We're actually actively reorganizing the soil using invisible kinetic waves. You see, if engineers relied on static weight alone, our roads would literally start crumbling and filling with cracks within just a few short years. Just relying on weight leaves these deep zones of the earth completely loose, and that eventually ruins the roads we drive on every single day. To really understand why static weight fails us, we gotta look under the surface. In its natural state, soil is absolutely not a solid block of material. It is full of voids. These are basically tiny, hidden pockets of trapped air, just sitting right there between the individual particles of earth, sand, and aggregate. And believe it or not, this trapped air is the invisible enemy of a solid road foundation.
So leaving those voids untouched triggers a really dangerous domino effect. If a construction crew just pours asphalt right over those hidden air pockets, they're essentially setting a trap, because eventually the heavy weight of future traffic is going to add immense downward pressure. Over time, that pressure slowly but surely forces that trapped air out. And because the air escapes unevenly, the ground beneath settles unevenly. The final result? The asphalt deforms. You get these massive, deep cracks, and it leads to incredibly expensive repairs long after the project was supposedly finished.
Now, for decades, early engineers thought the solution was simply bigger machines. I'm talking steamrollers literally the size of small houses. But here's the thing, static weight actually has a hard physical limit. A heavy object just resting or rolling on the ground is only going to compact the very top layer. The deeper zones beneath that surface, they remain totally loose and untouched. This creates a highly dangerous weak zone hiding right beneath a perfect-looking surface, just waiting to fail under the pressure of your daily commute. To truly change the structure of the soil, raw mass just doesn't cut it. You need energy that can travel deep into the ground.
So what's really fascinating here is the secret mechanism hiding right inside the center of that giant steel drum. This is where the magic happens. Basically, step 1, a hydraulic motor spins an eccentric shaft at just blistering speeds. Step 2, attached to this shaft are these unbalanced masses, intentionally offset from the center. When they spin, they generate this intense centrifugal force. And finally, step 3, that raw centrifugal force is translated into thousands of controlled vibrations that transmit directly into the steel drum every single minute.
The result of that mechanism is honestly incredible. These invisible vibrational waves shoot deep down into the ground, and as they move through the soil, they actually cause those chaotic individual particles of earth to shift, lift up, and totally rearrange themselves. They pack together into a tightly locked, incredibly strong, and uniform configuration. All that trapped air we talked about, it gets violently expelled. This turns the roller from just a big, heavy cylinder into an incredibly precise engineering tool that dramatically increases the ground's ability to carry heavy loads. But to deliver this kind of kinetic energy consistently, the machine has to move flawlessly. Unlike a standard vehicle that uses a traditional gearbox, a modern vibratory roller utilizes a hydrostatic transmission, meaning there's literally no gearbox at all. And instead of a throttle pedal that might cause uneven speeds, operators use a constant travel lever. This brilliant engineering ensures the motion output is perfectly smooth, completely eliminating any jolts or shifting. That constant, even speed guarantees the vibrational energy transfer into the ground is perfectly uniform across the whole project. But, and you probably guessed this, there is a huge catch to all of this power. The exact same violent, earth-shifting kinetic force that packs the dirt so perfectly, yeah, it's highly destructive to the human body over time. If you think about it, vibrations strong enough to rearrange solid Earth are definitely strong enough to do terrible damage to an operator. Continuous exposure to this kind of violent kinetic force could literally permanently destroy human joints and spines. To solve this absolutely critical safety issue, engineers had to get creative. They created a perfectly isolated safe zone by using heavy-duty rubber dampers and vibration isolators installed right between that vibrating drum and the rest of the machine. The violent, earth-shattering vibrations stay exactly where they belong, down in the dirt. Meanwhile, the operator essentially floats above all the chaos, completely safe and protected. Zooming out for a second, because of all this insanely specialized engineering, the hydrostatic transmissions, those eccentric shafts, the complex isolation systems, these machines are a staggering financial investment. We're talking high-end models easily costing well over $500,000. But despite that massive price tag, these vibratory rollers are the literal heartbeat of modern infrastructure. As we wrap up this explainer, you can really see the truth in this. Without that microvibration secret, the cities and highways we rely on simply wouldn't be possible. It really puts things into perspective, you know? We depend on our massive transportation networks every single day, but without this careful, invisible manipulation of physics right under the surface, all of that asphalt and concrete would eventually just crumble away under the weight of our daily lives. I am genuinely fascinated by how we've learned to harness these invisible kinetic waves to literally shape and stabilize the world around us. But I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to ponder. Imagine yourself stepping onto a massive construction job site tomorrow. Which would you rather operate? The hidden, high-tech precision physics of a vibratory roller, or the undeniable, brute, raw power of a bulldozer? Think about it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning how the world around you is built.